Senator Jeanne Shaheen, DNH, recently faced a vocal confrontation at a New Hampshire Democratic event while defending her decision to vote in favor of ending a government shutdown. The incident involved an aggressive heckler who publicly challenged her on the floor, specifically questioning why she supported reopening the government without extracting further policy concessions or achieving a more favorable political victory. Shaheen's response was direct and unyielding, articulating a pragmatic argument that the immediate and tangible harm being inflicted on federal workers, military families, and critical public services in New Hampshire outweighed the political advantage of prolonging the standoff. Her defense was rooted in constituent welfare and the necessity of restoring governmental functionality, casting the decision as one of duty over political leverage. Analysis, reasons, and drivers. The root causes of this confrontation are complex, stemming from a deeply polarized legislative environment and the intense pressure political base voters place on their representatives. Reasons for the vote, Shaheen's perspective. 1. Constituent harm. A primary driver was the direct economic pain felt by federal employees and contractors, many of whom reside in New Hampshire. The vote prioritized ending their financial uncertainty and restoring paychecks. 2. Pragmatism over purity. Prolonging the shutdown, in Shaheen's view, had reached a point of diminishing returns. The political win being sought was secondary to the functional failure of the government. 3. Pressure from moderates. As a key swing state senator, Shaheen operates under pressure from both the progressive base and the more moderate, independent voters who often prioritize stable governance. Reasons for the heckler's outrage, base activist perspective. 4. Perceived weakness. From the heckler's standpoint, voting to end the shutdown was seen as a capitulation, a failure to use the leverage of the crisis to secure policy goals critical to the Democratic base. 5. Policy discontent. The protest often masks discontent over broader policy issues that activists feel were ignored or abandoned in the rush to reopen the government. 6. Polarization. The hyper-partisan climate breeds an all-or-nothing mentality, where compromise is viewed not as effective governance, but as political betrayal, consequences and implications. The brief, sharp exchange has implications for both Senator Shaheen's political standing and the broader dynamics of American politics. Political consequences for Shaheen. Alienating the base. The immediate consequence is a strengthening of the narrative among a hardcore progressive segment that she is too willing to compromise. This could lead to a less enthusiastic turnout or a primary challenge in future elections. Appealing to the center. Conversely, her firm defense of the pragmatic choice likely resonates well with independent and moderate voters in New Hampshire, who often tire of legislative brinkmanship and reward politicians who prioritize stability. This may reinforce her electability in a general election. Broader political consequences. The cost of compromise. The event highlights the current difficulty for lawmakers to compromise. Regardless of the practical benefits, like paying workers, the act of compromise is now often met with anger from the political extremes. Base activation. Such confrontations are not just about the senator. They are public displays of political frustration intended to activate and mobilize the party base around specific grievances. Predictions and potential solutions. The challenges revealed by this confrontation point toward continued legislative volatility and deepening partisan divides, but also suggest paths forward. Prediction 7. Increased intra-party pressure. Expect more frequent public challenges to moderate and centrist lawmakers from activists demanding uncompromising adherence to party platforms. 8. Recurring shutdown threats. Given that base voters reward those who take extreme stands, like starting or prolonging a shutdown, and punish those who compromise, the tactic of using government funding as a high-stakes bargaining chip is likely to continue. 9. Media framing. News coverage will continue to focus heavily on the conflict and drama, often oversimplifying the complex legislative mechanics that force lawmakers into difficult votes. Potential solutions. Institutional reform. The most lasting solution involves procedural changes in Congress to make government shutdowns less likely or less effective as a political weapon, such as automatic continuing resolutions if budget deadlines are missed. 11. Improved communication. Lawmakers like Shaheen must proactively and consistently communicate the reasoning behind pragmatic votes to their constituents, explaining the practical trade-offs involved rather than merely defending the outcome. This involves framing the choice as a defense of the community, not a political concession. 12. Focus on shared goals. Politicians could attempt to shift the narrative back toward common ground, focusing on infrastructure, defense, or other issues where bipartisan solutions are still possible, thereby lowering the temperature on more divisive social and fiscal battles. The confrontation serves as a stark reminder of the volatile political tightrope act required of modern U.S. senators.